Okay, the tools that I use when I'm painting with a coal wax medium, my hard working tool is the bowl scraper. I know it's very difficult to get in Europe, so the first years I've worked with this catalyst wedge number 6, and it works really well as well. So if you don't have a bowl scraper, you can take a catalyst wedge. I will mix 50% of the coal wax in with 50% of the paint, and I'm always mixing it with a pellet knife. I love this one, which have different sizes and different shapes. And I then apply it with my bowl scraper, and you can either press hard and then you just cover up a whole part, or you can just slowly and not pressing very hard, so you will already create beautiful textures. Play with the different pressures, with the different how do you say that, the different ways to hold the bowl scraper, because everything will give another effect. And if you use the wedge, you can see it's almost the same. Well, it's a difference. It's quite the same. If you press, or if you just go over it without pressing. You can use your pellet knife as a painting tool. That will give different effects as well. Press, and if you don't press, you will get the textures. You can even use it as a writing tool. You can write in it with your pellet knife, which you can also do with your bowl scraper. For my bigger paintings, I often use a bigger pellet knife, but you can see that it's different as well. But I really prefer this one. But I think it's personal which one you prefer. Then we have the Brayer. I'll first mix a little bit more paint. The Brayer can be used on a surface that is semi-dry, so that it's dry to the touch, or to a dry surface, because if you use your Brayer on a surface that's too wet, it will pick up all the paint, and well, it gives texture, but it's often it's a bit too much. Roll in the Brayer like this, so it will cover your whole Brayer with a really thin layer of paint. And then you can do a view of color. And it's the same with the other tools. You can either not press or press, and it will give different effects. I clean my tools either with paper towels, and I clean them a lot in between, because if not you will create mud. I clean them with paper towels or with baby wipes, which works really well as well, or with baby oil. I hardly use any solvent in my studio. About the pellets, I either use this glass pellet. It's a sheet of glass that I took out of a frame, and that works really well, but sometimes I'm quite lazy because you have to clean it afterwards, and I use this wax paper, and I cover it I covered the pellet and I used the wax paper as a pellet. So I will now clean my tools and I will show you the mark making tools that we can use.